Okay, this will be tough for me to do, but I'll try to keep it short. Hopefully you have this printed out in front of you. If not, I would suggest pausing and printing it so you have it in front of you as we go through this. I want to spend a day or two talking about life insurance. Specifically, we're going to be doing examples of term life. Very simple, straightforward for the most part. But I do want to let you know that there are two different types of life insurance typically: term life and whole life. Term life, the insurance is insurance that is only paid out upon a death, okay, during the terms of the purchase that you made. That's why it's called term life. The premiums are a lot smaller than whole life, and the term is decided before you start the policy, such as how much money you want your insurance to be, meaning if I were to die, how much money would my people left behind get? How many years do you want the policy to cover? Could be 5, 10, 15, 20. Typically it's in the 10 to 20 years, but the example I'm giving later is 5 years to keep the math a little shorter. But it's basically 10 or 20 years. If you're younger, you might do a 30-year. As you get to my age, you don't do 30-year because it's way too expensive for a 70 or 80-year-old to be insured, due to the fact that the chance of dying is much higher than a 30-year-old is. And the key to term life, there is no cash value unless you die during the term you have the insurance policy. Okay, so if you never die during that policy, when the policy's up, you get no money back, nothing, just whatever. It was just insurance, just like with your car. You pay insurance whether you have a car wreck or not. Life insurance, you're paying insurance with the thought of what if something happened. Whole life, basically it's a combination of life insurance and investing. Okay, the insurance company puts X number of dollars to the side for your insurance. Basically, it's like a term life and an investment. Okay, so they'll put some money to the side to actually purchase your insurance in a term life situation, but then the extra money you pay, I'm calling it Y dollars, is put aside for investments. The policy lasts until you die. So once you start buying it, you might be buying it until you're 70 years old, or until you choose to stop making the premiums, the payments. Okay, it is much more expensive for these two reasons. Okay? Life, it's a lifetime coverage, and investments, and you have an investment to the side as well. When it comes time, research what you think is best. However, it's typically a lot cheaper to do your term life insurance and take that extra money that they would charge you for whole life and actually put it into your retirement and your 401k, or buy your own stocks. Quick little side note, when I was doing stuff through State Farm years ago, they only offered term life. They didn't even offer whole life. And they were saying how much better term life is than whole life. But ironically, a few years later, they developed a whole life policy as well. And suddenly the whole life policy became the way to go in their mind. But I know it's just because they were trying to sell me more stuff. Okay? So what I'm saying is, buy a term life, and instead of paying extra for them to invest for you, just take the extra money that you would have been paying and invest it in your own retirement. There's all kinds of positive reasons for doing that. Feel free to check the internet. How do you determine the amount of money you want for insurance coverage? Reminder, life insurance is not for you, but for the people you leave behind if you were to die. Some suggestions are 10 times your current salary. So if you're making $40,000, you might want a $400,000 policy. Typically, the younger you are, the more coverage you want, because you're leaving behind people that need to last longer without your income. Some recommendations are to be sure that your spouse and family will not have financial issues to deal with, such as house payments or kids' education. Okay? And our family decision, we want enough life insurance to pay off the house and still have enough money left over for college and maybe a little nest egg for emergencies. Okay? Page 2, we will use the probability to show how insurance companies actually calculate term life policies. I want to do this in 2 different videos so that it won't take as long to download.